G'day, Dougie Bird here from Doug Bird's Tackle World on the Gold Coast. So we're talking about the fishing report for the 24th and 25th of October. So, this weekend, northerly winds, terrible. We're looking at about 20 knot winds on average Saturday and Sunday, up to 25 around the Gold Coast area. So offshore, we'll start there. It has been great. We had some really good weather this week, a couple of good, really hot days, sort of Wednesday, Thursday, and tomorrow morning, Friday morning is looking not too bad. First up, but it's been like 10 knots of wind. The fishing's been not too bad. The current is running out wide pretty hard, but that hasn't stopped the fishing. The big talk this last week or 2 weeks now has been dolphin fish. Most of the fads have been producing pretty good. They did shut down a little bit today on Thursday, so talking about the 22nd of October. They're a little bit quiet, probably because there's a lot of boats at each fad. There are 12 fads off the Gold Coast, folks, and if you watch out at the end of our fishing report on Facebook again this week, you'll see that we have listed all the fad GPS marks, and you can put those in your GPS and relate to where they are by looking at the map. So once you punch them in. So 36 fathom fads and the 50 fathom fads have been producing normally pretty good. We were at the last Friday last week, and every fad was just chock-a-block full of dolphin fish. I also caught on spinning lures, like this type of thing here, 42 gram, little X-Wrap, little sort of swimming casting bait. I caught kingfish, and we also got high fin amberjack as well in 85 meters deep, but off the fad, not from the surface. So they're coming to the top, the fish, and hanging around the fad as well. So plenty of dolphin fish as well. We bagged out on dolphin fish, as did a lot of other people last week. This week, yesterday and today, quite a few guys did really well. Some guys didn't do well. It depends which fad you're at. The fish are there that shut down a bit when you get a lot of boat traffic up above. So you got to get there first and get into it. The live baits will catch the bigger fish. So if you want to catch like those sort of meter 50 dolphin fish, you need to have liveys really. If you want to just get a feeder dolphin fish and don't have time to get the bait, and then you'll definitely use half pillies. So it's always a hard situation. You need to get the bait the day before, keep it in your live bait tank overnight, because if you waste the time getting bait in the morning, then other boats have arrived there who have sacrificed, or they've got the bait the day before you get there. So it's a catch-22 situation. What do you do? But either way, half pillies, 4-0 hook, 30 to 50 pound fluorocarbon leader, no swivel, no sinker, no nothing, just braid straight to your leader with the hook on the end, half a pilly, cast it out. For those of you who have electric outboards on your boat, a couple of things. One is it's a little bit sort of not the nice thing to do when your boat's leapfrogging and doing drifting all the time if you just sort of anchor up on the spot. But for yourself, it's actually not the right way to do it, because the current, when you got wind and no current, electric outboards are fantastic. They hold you on the spot and you can get to the bottom because there's no current. When the current's raging and the boat's struggling to hold with the electric on spot lock, the problem is your bait goes out the back and it's on the surface spinning around the current. And the fish hate that. They don't like it. They won't take it. They may take a live bait if you're lucky, but you'll need to use a sinker on it or something to get it down a bit, which again doesn't look as natural. But if you drift in the current, even if it's running at 2 or 3 knots, you cast go up a bit from the fad, and they don't necessarily be right on top of it. You can be away from a bit, the fish are around it, and cast out and drift with your bait naturally. They'll take your bait. But when you're at anchor with your electric motor, they rarely take your bait. Just that you know that. But when there's no current and it's windy, you go hard with the electric. So anyhow, stick baits, little heavy, like 40 gram lures and stuff, cast will work really well. Okay, so dolphin fish are really good. The other thing that's happening at offshore at the moment, there seem to be a few snapper caught today. There was snapper caught on the close reefs, not real big ones, but around that sort of 50 centimetre line. On the 18 and 24s, a few parrotfish, a few Maori cod, hits a tailor, and a few drag. On the 36 fathom reefs, northeast, there was a few good snapper caught. So Benny Smith got a few other customers got them as well, and they're fishing on the 36 northeast and east as well. Again, there's fads around both those reefs. We've got fad 12, 12B and 12C on the east 36s, and you can bottom fish around that same area as well. And those 3 fads will be producing some really big dollies, especially on liveys. North, you got fad 3, I think it is, or 2, can't remember now, sorry. But it's also producing quite well as well in 36s northeast. And straight after that, I think it's fad 13 on the 50s. You can also fish around that area as well. So you'll catch snapper and parrot and all the general sort of bottom fish in that same area. If you go to the 50 fathom reefs at the moment, again, as I said, the current's running about 2.5 knots. The fishing there's been quite good again for snapper, a lot of 50 centimetre squire. Some really solid kings, they're really fat this year. So a jig is obviously the go, micro jig or heavy knife jig. Even though the current's running, it doesn't seem to matter. You just drift with the current and you'll catch the fish. Just drift through those big bait schools on your sounder and you'll get kingies up to 20 kilos, amberjacks. And if you micro jig, you might get snapper and pearlies as well. Out wider on the sort of 500 to 600 metre mark around that Jim's Mountain, definitely yellowfin are out there still. Had some customers out today. They hooked some absolute hummers, like 40 kilo ones. So good sized fish and yeah, really good. So a few big dolphin fish out there as well and a few wahoo and whatever else. But definitely get around Jim's or head out to Mixed Mountain further out again if you've got good weather. Not this weekend though. And give that a shot as well. The weather at this stage for out wide is looking really good on about Tuesday, Wednesday next week. But as I said, it always changes, so just keep your eye on it. The other thing too is the current out wide is not as strong as it is in close at the moment for some reason. So really nice blue water out there. Temperatures up getting close to 25, 24 and a half. And definitely worth a go. Okay, that's about it for offshore at the moment. Inshore around the Seaway. Actually, it's that jumping pin. Jumping pin, we've got a big competition this weekend with for breast cancer flathead competition. If you jump on our Facebook page, you'll see all the links to it. You've got till tomorrow, I think, to enter. It starts on Saturday and Sunday. Some great prizes, a really good cause. We're backing it big time, especially for the juniors, with good prizes and a lot of other good sponsors as well, which makes it all happen. And it's all going towards breast cancer, which is a fantastic thing. So if you don't do anything and the weather's crappy if you're going offshore fishing, jump on the flathead competition, guys. Just jump on our page, you'll see all the links to it. And the other thing that's happening up jumping is whiting. Lots of whiting around Gold Bank. Fishing with yabbies is drifting across the flats there. And on the run out tide, anchor up near the red buoys in front of Millionaires Row and fish the edge of the bank there at the yabbies. You'll get some really good whiting. There have been still a few tailor in the bar area, some big flatties in the bar area. But they've shut down a little bit of flatties, but we'll see how it goes this weekend with the competition on. Down the Broadwater way, definitely flatties again along the north and south wall of the Seaway. Just look for those sand patches on the high tide, which is sort of around lunchtime at the moment, the high tide. But when the water comes up over the rocks and you get those little sand patches, the flatties sit right up on top there just waiting for some little bait to swim past and they nail them. So you cast up on those little sand patches with your plastics and it's a little hop. And you get some big flatties, so that's worth a try. Also, the north wall of the Seaway, up past where the wall ends, you got the timber on there. Just drift along that, casting plastics and slow twitching them. Worth a try as well. At the end of the north wall, the Seaway, just inside of it, you got a northerly wind. So if you fish just inside the north wall where it drops off, there's a bit of a hole there around about 15, 20 metres deep. There's good jewies at the moment. You need to get livey, so preferably to catch them like yakkers or something like that. Herring will work, as will pike and squid and mullet. I'm trying mullet, but not as good as the other baits. Plenty of whiting around the whole Broadwater at the moment. So there's whiting around the banks in front of the Grand, the back of Wadebreak Island, around Crab Island, and all the sandbanks going all the way up to the Gold Coast Bridge. Definitely worth a try. Again, yabbies, worms, best baits by far. A few whiting up the Nerang River. The tides are coming really good. They'll start Sunday, Monday, Tuesday next week. Evening tides, top of the tide just on dark. First 2 hours of run out, 3 hours of run out. That's when you really get into those big whiting up the Nerang River this time of the year. And October, November is the month for whiting fishing in the Nerang River. So if you want to get it, then give it a go. Give it a go. So get that fresh bait. Okay, besides that, in the Broadwater, definitely the odd squid around. There's plenty of sand crabs. I put my pots out last Saturday night, whatever it was. I got half a dozen crabs. Went out the next night, I got 10. So in sort of 4 pots, so it's not too bad out of 4 pots to get that many crabs. So they're good sized sandies as well, so worth having a go. Just to let you know too, sorry, I forgot to mention offshore. I went out spanner crabbing on yesterday, and lots of crabs around that 27.58 latitude and 153.33 500 longitude, which is about 52 meters deep or 50 meters deep. Yeah, we got, I don't know, we got 60 crabs or something, really big spanner crabs. I'll chuck it on Facebook this weekend for you to have a look at. Around about once we found them, we're getting an average of 10 big crabs a pot every time we pull the pot up. That's the middle of the day. So very easy to catch the spanner crabs. We can't get spanner crab pots at the moment, so I'm going to teach you guys how to make spanner crab pots, which we'll do later, next week sometime. Anyhow, get back to the Broadwater. Yeah, so we've done the flatties, we've done the whiting, bream. There's always bream in the canals this time of the year, lots of bream actually. So putting out the canals, casting lures, you've got the chance of hooking up a jack, which will also give you a bit of a run. So there's a few jacks starting to get up around the rivers as well, around the Coombe River and in the Nerang. So around the Coombe, try up around Santa Barbara, around the Gold Coast City Marina, try up around Nerang River and Penola and Bundle Bridges and places like that sort of area, Little Talabudger Creek, Casino, all that sort of area is really good for jacks. There's not much else you can do. The weather's perfect for it, hot, humid, and absolutely right for them. And you get low tide late in the afternoon, which is even better. So give that a shot. That's probably it for the Broadwater. The beaches, heading down towards south. There's plenty of dart on the beach at the moment. There's been a few whiting, a lot of whiting starting next month on the surf. And there's a few bream around as well, the odd tailor, not really many tail at the moment. But definitely head down south, down around Talabudger Creek and Crumman Creeks. A lot of whiting again down there at the moment. Again, as I said, it's whiting time of the year. All those banks between the two high road bridges are really good, especially at the back blocks heading towards the western end highway bridges. Where those banks are, you get yavies, you get your good whiting there, a few flatties as well. Tweed River, again, you get big flatties this time of the year in the mouth of the Tweed River, sort of from Jack Evans Pool back down to the hospital, all the way through that area. And up the river, you'll get good whitings up around the sort of Tumbalgan, around the Sugar Mill, that area. Some really good whiting. There's a fair way up the river, but that's where you seem to catch them at this time of the year. On the surf side of things, plenty dart, a few bream, a few whiting, and not many tailor. That's probably it for down south. And in the Hinds Dam, absolutely going off. Quite a few customers fish there this week. They've got some really good bass up to that high 50 centimetre size. A lot of guys trolling lures, a lot of guys casting lures, a lot of guys jigging lures. Just find the fish schooled up and work them. East side, west side, doesn't seem to matter. I like the east side myself, but up to you guys. Put in on Mudgebar side with the water towers there, and Chuff south. And yeah, give that a go. Until next week, wish those fishing the flathead competition for the breast cancer for Brooks breast cancer competition, flathead competition. Give it a go. Have a good time. And for those of you who are just going for a fish, enjoy it with your mates and your family. Take care of the water, and I'll see you next week's Dougie Burt from Doug Burt's Tackle World at Biggera Waters on the Gold Coast. Thank you. Bye.